Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's TheQuackingSaffa here, and today we're doing another video on Path of Exile. And what I want to do is I actually want to talk to you a little bit about my Amazon Huntress build. Now, in the last video I said, she did tier 2, tier 3, Xesht and King of the Mist pretty easy, and she does. However, when you do tier 4 and the last tier of Xesht and King of the Mist, a little bit changes. Like I said, she is not built to be a defense build. She was very much a damage build. However, that in itself caused some issues. Now, the issues I was having was I could do damage, and I was getting them down damage, but when it came to, say, for instance, King of the Mist, get him down to half life right at the end after you go through go find the wisps and everything. That arena becomes quite hectic. You've got the blood, you've got his chaos, you've got the frogs, there's a lot going on, and in order to dodge that, I needed to make some changes, and I made those changes, and I think I'm quite happy with the build. However, that has meant that my energy shield is now at 500 and my life is about 1547. That, for me, isn't really a problem because I made some changes to my passive skill tree and my ascendancy points. So instead of going down and making the enemies mark them and make them weaker, I have that my life leech now takes away from my elemental damage and my physical damage, which is how I combat the things hitting me once. So when I do get hit, my life goes down and then I leech the life back. And that becomes, that's working out for me. That seems to work out well. It seems to be okay. I'm surviving. I managed to do the last tier of Xesht. I haven't done King of the Mist yet because I haven't found an audience with the king, and I refuse to buy one. Let's talk about my gear. I did make some changes to my gear. Firstly, I got a better Tangle Tongue. I managed to chance a Fork Spear, and I got a 19.3% Tangle Tongue, and then obviously I used the Blacksmith Whetstones and I put a socket on it and I Val Orbed it. Now, unfortunately, when Valing it, there's a lot of positives and there was a little bit of a negative. I only managed to still keep the one socket. I would have liked a 19.5% with 2 sockets. That would have been fantastic because I could have had that 220 accuracy rating opposed to the 110 I've got now. However, what I did manage to do was corrupt it so that it became a 22.1% critical hit chance Tangle Tongue with 19 to intelligence and 15 to 39 physical damage, taking my critical hit chance to 27.10% on it. And overall, my critical hit chance is, I think, 96%. The other main change that I made was I did purchase a Huntress chestplate. Now, the Huntress, I don't know if anybody knows. You probably do by now. You've seen a lot of videos on this. You can evade all hits if you have not been hit recently. And hit recently means if you've not been hit in the last 4 seconds, you can evade hits. And that is fantastic, especially when I'm mapping and I'm running through breaches and I'm just running through the mobs. I'm doing great damage and they're really not doing that much to me. Huntress along with my life leech, sorts out most of my problems. I'm going through maps really easily, Trial of Secamus really easily, Trial of Chaos really easily, and I'm getting the bosses done. I have yet to do an Arbiter Pinnacle boss, because I haven't found any citadels. I've been doing maps for like 2 weeks and I haven't found a citadel. Can you believe it? That to me is just insane. I also haven't done a simulacrum because I've not really been focusing on that. I'm really trying to focus on doing the damage and surviving Xesht and King of the Mist. So those are the changes that I've made for myself. Those are the changes that I find are working for me. And so I will go through a little bit about the build, what changed, an overview, and then I'll show you some content of me just destroying the bosses in the Trial of Chaos. Okay, so let's talk about the gear. We'll go through it. I've run through it before. I'll try and explain why I've made some changes, why I've not gone with what other people have gone with, why I've just stayed with what I have. So starting off, there's my Tangle Tongue with the 22.1% critical hit chance. I did buy the Hyrie's Ire. I have it with the 93% increased evasion rating, 17 to 37 cold damage to dexterity, and it can evade all hits if you have not been hit recently. I'm still using the Hand of Wisdom in Action Spiral Wraps. I still need to get better ones with a plus 20 on them. However, this has done alright for me. I've not had any issues and it's pushed my damage up quite a bit. I'm using a belt that gives me 174 to maximum life and the 32% increased flask life recovery rate, along with some resistances and some life regeneration just so that I don't get as badly hurt as possible. Obviously we want to max out those resistances if we can. However, again, I am still struggling with chaos resistance, and once I get my currency to the point where I'm comfortable with it, I will go and I will see if I can make this better by adding some chaos resistance in it, making pinnacle bosses a little bit easier. My boots could be better. They're not the best. They are plus 20 quality. They do have 30% increased movement speed, but the main thing I went for here was evasion rating. This is an evasion build, and I need my evasion because that's what makes Hyrie's Ire better. That's what makes it better for me, that when I do get hit, it's not terrible because I have, obviously, quite high evasion. Again, I'm using Lycos today, Rampart Tower Shield. Now, I know a lot of people went with the Sunsplinter Array Buckler, and that because it gave you the 2 to all level of lightning skills, and the evasion rating, and the cold resistance and lightning resistance, all that stuff. You got a little bit more. Now, I did use this, and it is good. However, I prefer the accuracy rating being doubled on my spear and on my attacks and everything. That works better for me. Now, obviously, again, this build can be built in so many different ways, so many different skills, and I've seen a lot of fantastic builds out there. It all comes down to personal preference, what works for you, and the Lycos a day works for me. I'm using a ring with lightning damage to it. It does have some fire damage. It's got accuracy rating, and then my resistances with some intelligence. Again, intelligence pushing my damage up. This ring is the 8 to 15, 2 to 43, some mana, my resistances, and then that all-important leech 6.63% of physical attack damage as life. That is so important for me because that is how I am staying alive when I do get hit once or twice during a map or during a boss fight. Again, I went with high evasion on my helmet. It is an evasion energy shield hybrid, however there is more evasion in it, and all importantly it has 30 to spirit enchanted on it because I need spirit for my build. That is why I went with this one. There are a lot of better helmets out there if you aren't requiring the spirit that I need. However, because I am not getting enough spirit, because I'm using Hyrie's Ire and I'm not using something like a Rambler jacket with 59 spirit on it, it's needed. Again, I've got a solar amulet with 14 to spirit and 43 to spirit. It's got all attributes on it. I went mainly with my intelligence, pushing my damage up. I would like to find one where I have maximum life, maybe a little bit of energy shield, but mostly what was important to me was the 26 to all attributes, 26 to intelligence, and that spirit. Those are the main changes that I've made, or the main things that I have done with my build to push damage up. Okay, yes, it's not the best. It could be better. It could always be better. It all comes down to currency. However, I just don't have the currency for it at the moment. With the new currency update though, the drops are a lot better, and I've managed to get myself up to 60 vines, 400 exalts, and I'm going to see what's out there, work with what I've got, and hopefully it will be a little bit better. Now, I do have another ring which is going to sort out my fire resistance over here. However, I'm still working on it at the moment. It was on my character. However, I just took it off to try this one. I'm doing okay. So most of my resistances are maxed out. Again, I have 0 chaos resistance, which is a problem for me. But again, chaos has always been one thing I really do struggle with. However, I do have 81% evasion. Now that is great for me. I like it. It works well. And I'm really just enjoying the build now. I think I've got it to a point where I can manage it, and because I can manage it, I'm enjoying it. So 81% evasion, 4% armor, 35% block chance, 1547 life, 506 energy shield. It's not terrible. It really isn't terrible. And because I need 180 spirit for all the skills that I am running, it becomes a little tricky, but we got the job done. Now if we go through my skills, my lightning spear, I do need a perfect jeweler's orb so that I can put something else on it. The DPS on it is absolutely fantastic. My damage per use on it is absolutely fantastic. I'm really happy with it. And 96.95% critical hit chance. So I'm always hitting critical hits. And because I'm always hitting critical hits, I'm always doing the damage that I need to do. You can play with the skills, the support gems on it, and you can do a number of things. I've taken inhibitor off of it and I've replaced it with bullseye because it gives me more accuracy rating, more damage. I was playing with support gems. This is something that works for me. I'm really enjoying it. I've still got the same skills. I've still got lightning spear, storm lance, barrage, herald of thunder, cast on critical, wind dancer, and ghost dance. So these are all things that really work for me. I'm enjoying it. It is a fun build because you can constantly change it. Whatever isn't working for you, there are numerous support gems out there that'll work. There are numerous videos out there of other people that have probably done so much more than what I'm doing at the moment. But again, I'm still learning. I'm enjoying finding the things that work, finding the things that don't, and then just bettering the build overall. But now that we've talked about it and we've run through it and I've told you what I've changed, what I've done, I'd really love to hear what you would do with the build, what you have done, what works for you, and maybe we can compare and see if we can make just an ultimate awesome build together. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't, and ding dong the notification bell to get notified every time I do upload a video. I'm going to leave you with some video clips of me destroying Trial of Chaos bosses. Thanks guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Adios.